মার্কশিট বলছে 400-399, 1 নম্বর কাটা গেছে, কিন্তু এই 399 পেতে তার সারা বছরের প্রচুর পরিশ্রম ছিল, আর তার সঙ্গে ছিল অনেকটা অধ্যবসায়। মানিয়া গুপ্তা আমার সঙ্গে রয়েছেন ISC টপার, শুধুমাত্র রাজ্যে নয় দেশের মধ্যে প্রথম। হাউ আর ইউ ফিলিং রাইট নাও?
Very happy, very shocked, very overwhelmed, very weird.
Why shocked?
Because I didn't expect this at all. I wasn't planning to do this. My mother had maybe high hopes for me for city topper, state topper. No one in my family expected country. This is huge.
I think your friends were with you.
My friends were not with me when I found out that I was the topper, but they are the ones who told me. So they called me up. We were all talking about each other's grades. We were like, kitta bela, kitta bela, kitta bela. And when they heard my marks, they were like, dude, you must have topped the country because no one could have gotten higher marks than that. And it still didn't process for me because I was like, no, there's a specific type of person who's supposed to be the India topper. I'm not that person. I couldn't be that person. But I was that person.
First of all, what did you tell to your mother? I would like to know from your mother. আমার সঙ্গে মানিয়ার মা রয়েছেন।
We were together when the result came out and we saw the result and it was exceptional. So समझ लग गई कि कुछ तो है. And then we called the school and she called her friends. So कुछ समझ आ रहा था कि this could be a possibility. And the school also told us to wait for 5 minutes to confirm whether she has topped or she's second, because it's just 1 mark as you mentioned. So only 1 mark difference could be there, right? So but within 5 minutes they confirmed that she's the topper and we were both overjoyed and we were hugging each other. I was crying also a little bit, tears of joy, and we did not know how to react to this actually.
I can understand the emotion that you are flowing out. So how was she? Like, how was she as a student? How did you saw her?
She has always been a bright student. So in whichever school she has been, she's always topped the class and she has always been in the top list of the students. So that was expected, that there was competition of course, but she will be somewhere in top 3 of school, maybe city also. So but this is huge. This is something that is sinking in right now after a day now, that yes, this has happened.
Was this a dream that came true?
I would not say, I mean, it feels like a dream that came true now, but it was never a dream that I had for myself. So it wasn't on my bucket list. I was like, oh, I want to do really well on my ISCs, but now that it has happened, I'm like, wait, this isn't bad. I'm really enjoying this a little bit. I feel proud of myself.
Since you have mentioned your bucket list, I want to know what is there in your bucket list.
So I never put that much importance on grades, right? So whenever I think about achievements, I always think about learning new things. I want to pick up new hobbies or new talents. I get my validation from myself. So I like doing that. I don't focus too much on my studies, which is why this was a huge shock to me, because it really was.
And the obvious question, for how long did you study in a day? I don't want to ask you this, but I have to ask.
Okay, so in a day I would not study much. I'd go to school, I'd pay a lot of attention in school, but I'd come home and I'd be exhausted. So I'd maybe take a nap, I'd hang out with my friends, I'd play some games and stuff like that, right? But then before my exams, I would get very nervous. So I wasn't one of those people who could just not study for an exam, because I'd get very scared and I would think I'm going to fail. So I would have to study. So yeah, I would mainly study at night. So my sleep schedule was really messed up. So I would study from, say, I would sit with my books at like 6 p.m. and I'd study till like 4 a.m.
We have heard that you are going to study psychology. Why psychology you have chosen? Is there any particular reason for it?
So since we're talking about psychology, I'll talk about that itself. I think in India, there's a lot of stigma around mental health that is not just... So I know everyone talks about how it's there in our society and our parents don't believe it and stuff, but it's gotten to a point where it has also infringed into the psychological sector itself. So a lot of the psychologists in India themselves are not that educated on mental health problems, or themselves see mental health as something that's not important, which is not acceptable, since they're the ones who are supposed to work towards curing it, right? And that is what I want to change. I think that there needs to be a change in the way that we study psychology at school and at college levels, and at the same time what we study.
মানিয়ার সঙ্গে কথা বলছিলাম, সঙ্গে মানিয়ার মাও ছিলেন, যারা সামনের বছর পরীক্ষা দিচ্ছেন, তারপরে পরীক্ষা দেবেন, তাদের জন্য মানিয়া কিছু বলবে? এনিথিং ইউ উড লাইক টু সে টু ইয়োর জুনিয়র্স অর সামথিং?
Don't lose that 1 mark, bro. Do better. Be better.
থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ টু বোথ অফ ইউ। দুজনের সঙ্গে কথা বলছিলাম। খুব ভালো থাকুক মানিয়া, এবং সাইকোলজিতে অনেক 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 কিছু করুক দেশের জন্য, এটা আমরা চাইবো।